So in these trying times, many of you guys are probably looking to cut costs. And one way to do that is to cut your cable bill. Right? So you can, rather than paying monthly for cable TV, you can get an antenna that you install on the outside of your house that can get you reception from over-the-air channels. And they make a lot of good antennas now. These antennas can range from 20 bucks all the way to a couple hundred. They come amplified, unamplified. But one of the things that I like to do when I install these antennas, I like to install one of these guys, the HDHomeRun. I've been using this product without an antenna, not this exact product, but another product from HDHomeRun. They have an HDHomeRun Prime that you can put a cable card in. And with that cable card, you can basically get cable TV on any device that this app exists on. They have this app for pretty much every smart TV out there. So that prevents you from needing an actual cable box every TV. So that's a nice selling point. But Comcast just jacked my cable up, so I canceled cable. And I had an antenna mounted on the side of my house already, so we're going to hook this up to it. You don't have to do this if you want to cut the cable, but if you don't have good cable TV wiring in your house, or if you want the mobility of being able to watch TV on a cell phone or a tablet or your computer, or if you have so many TV outlets that the splitters that you would need to make them all work are just too many. You need too many splitters. You might need amplified splitters. I'll show you what those look like too. This simplifies the whole thing. So if you have a TV on the wall, for example, you have no cable jack. Do you want to pull a coax cable to that TV? Maybe not. Maybe you already get Wi-Fi there. So this product will make that install a lot easier. You can get these on Amazon for maybe 80, 85 bucks. And I'll walk you through what you need to do. If you did not want to buy an HDHomeRun and you just wanted to send coax to every TV, and you have a lot of TVs, you would need something like this. This is a zero loss powered splitter, and it takes a powered input. You have to plug it into 120 volts AC. It comes with a adapter to send power in through a coax cable. Then you hook your input up here, and that can then split that signal across all these outputs. So now if you don't use a powered splitter, every time you use a passive splitter or non-powered, you have some signal degradation or signal loss. This prevents that from happening. However, this unfortunately failed a couple months ago, so I'm not going to use this. I'm going to send my cable signal coming in from the antenna, which is that cable all the way off in the distance on the gable end. I'm going to send that in to where the HDHomeRun is, so I'm going to dig that up now. So what I'm doing now is I'm eliminating this two-way splitter. So the way it used to work before I cut the proverbial cord is I had coax coming into the house through here. It would come into this two-way splitter like that, and one leg would go to the cable modem, the other leg would go to this active splitter, powered splitter. So what I'm going to do now, since cable is now coming in through the antenna, I can connect my cable modem directly to the incoming cable. So I'm going to take this connection off here, leave the splitter for now in case I ever decide to hook it up again, connect this to here, and we'll actually improve our cable modem signal by doing that. All right, I've completed that connection. So now cable from Comcast, who also provides the internet, is going directly into the cable modem, bypassing that two-way splitter. So now I'm going to take the leg that goes to, or it's going to go to the HDHomeRun, which is this one, and connect it to the antenna, which is this, using a barrel connector. Okay, I've got that connection made. Just to point out, notice that all these fittings here are really high quality compression fittings. I would say 99% of the residential cabling problems that I've seen are either bad quality cable or poor terminations, or both. All this is RG6 Quad Shield, which is the latest available cable out there. It's designed for high-speed internet, HDTV, and whatnot. And these terminations are PPC EX6 and EX6Ls, which are the same ones the cable company uses. You can pick these up on eBay for, I don't know, 10 or 15 bucks for a bag of 100, which you'll never go through unless you're wiring lots of houses. But I think it's well worth the investment. I've never had one of these terminations go bad, so I strongly recommend them. You'll have to get some expensive tools to do the terminations. I think the compression tool is maybe 50 or 60 bucks. But again, if you're doing a lot of this stuff, which I do, well worth the money. Now, you may be wondering, why didn't you just leave one leg, the cable modem, tied into that one of those two legs in the splitter? Well, the simple reason is that the splitter, we'd have to put a terminator on the other side. And even if we did, we'd still have a signal loss because it is a two-way splitter. So that's why I chose to disconnect. All right, so we're done with all the wiring up here. So let's go down and complete the job in air-conditioned space. In case anyone's curious, this is what the HDHomeRun Prime looks like, the one I'm taking out. This is the one that has a cable card slot in the back right there. So the way it works is TV comes in through there. It uses the technology in the cable card to decode the signal. It sends it out over Ethernet. It's an older device, but it's been very reliable. It's worked very well. It's really, the only reason I'm decommissioning is because of Comcast. Anytime you change your coax wiring, it's a good idea to check your cable modem signal levels. Now on the Aris surfboard series, or Motorola surfboard, you can go to 192.168.100.1 and you can see your signal level. So you can see here, my downstream power level is hovering right around 5-6 dB, and upstream is about, what is that, 36, 37, 39. So this is a little bit higher than I would like it to be. You want this to be pretty close to zero. Upstream is actually okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order an attenuator that will allow me to lower this signal here. So I'm going to bring this down maybe about 3 dB here. And that should clear things up. I mean, technically it's still okay, but it's kind of right on the edge. So the attenuator will quiet this signal. So these numbers should go down a bit. And one way to think of these signal levels here is think of this as that the cable company is shouting at your cable modem. So the volume, think of it that way, to your cable modem is very high. So you want, over time, that shouting can cause a problem and maybe even ultimately damage. Likewise, the upstream power, you could think of as your cable modem having to shout to the cable company. And there, like I said, there are guidelines for both of those. The third I forgot to mention is the SNR, the signal to noise ratio. This is actually really good. The SNRs couldn't ask for anything better than that. But again, we do want this downstream power to go down a bit. So we'll get that attenuator, we'll get it installed in about $5-6 on Amazon. And then we'll go from there. But let's continue with the HDHomeRun install. And let's start by just unboxing it. Bunch of documentation that you probably don't need. It's a small box, look at that. It's probably half the size of the old one. Not much to it. So you got your coax connection here, you got your Ethernet here, and your power. Not even give you an Ethernet cable, how nice. We don't need one though. We just need power. Then I go plug in the power, and we'll get her hooked up. Okay, so on my server rack in my closet, I got the HDHomeRun right here. Got coax, Ethernet, and power plugged in the back. I just used the existing Ethernet cable that was going to my switch here. I realize this is probably a far more complicated setup than most of you might have, but it's all I got to mess with. Sorry, nothing simpler. So let's give that a minute to power up, then we'll log in and download the channels. Now that you got the HDHomeRun installed, you want to make your way to this website, the Silicon Dust website, and you'll see a bunch of downloads here. You want to download the HDHomeRun software for Windows and install that. After the software is installed, you're going to want to go to Start and run the HDHomeRun Setup app. That app will look like this when you load it. It may do a firmware update on your device depending upon how old it is. It only takes a minute or so. And once you do that, you're going to go over to the Digital Antenna tab and hit Scan. And that's going to scan for channels that it picks up over the antenna. So this takes a couple minutes too. We're just going to let this run. Okay, so we ran a scan and we found, I think it was 53 channels. Just scrolling through, your list may look very different depending upon where you are, what kind of antenna you have installed, where you have it installed, the orientation of the antenna. So don't take this as gospel. Yours may look very, very different from this. So once we're done there, we're going to go ahead and hit OK or Apply. It's going to save the configuration. And now you can run the HDHomeRun app on your computer. You want to run that app right there, HDHomeRun. And then you'll see your broadcast TV. You can click down the channels here. Not something I would necessarily watch, but these are just the channels that are there. In theory.
No, I was in like 8th grade.
Let's see what else we got.
Do the real number.
There you go.
Get you.
So, it works. So that black rectangular object on the edge of my roof there is the antenna. I believe this one is directional, and I have it facing north-south, the flat sections. So all you got there is coax cable coming down. There's a little bit of a loop there, so if any water gets on there, it drips off the cable. Then it comes down, another loop right where it goes into the house, and I just caulked in there. These antennas are not expensive. You can pick them up for $50, $60, between $50 and $100, I would say, for something like that. But depending upon where you live, you may or may not have to mount something outside. I'm about halfway between Miami and West Palm, probably closer to West Palm than Miami, so I want to make sure that the antenna was good and high and got as many channels as I could. Works pretty well. Now, one of the perks of this product is you can run that same app on most smart TVs. Anything that's Android based, Fire TV based. I think there's an app for the Roku as well. So you just simply install that app and you can stream over-the-air broadcasts over your network to any TV in your house or any tablet, smartphone, computer, whatever. So the HDHomeRun saves you a lot of wiring time if you don't want to run coax to every location where you have a TV. It also makes it possible to watch over-the-air broadcasts on things like computers and tablets that don't really have coax ports anyway. So overall, great product. Love it a lot. Been using them for years. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, if you like the video, please subscribe and stay safe.